Hey guys, I'm pretty excited about this. You asked for it, we talked about it, so now we have our own dummy rounds to offer. So as our students know, we really promote the use of dummy rounds for things like practicing loading, unloading, mag changes, problem solving, etc. But these dummy rounds are not just any old dummy rounds. In my opinion, I think these are the best ones that you can buy. So like I said, we generally use non-firing dummy rounds to help build skills related to basic handgun operation, problem solving, mag changes, help train away anticipation of recoil issues, stuff like that. But if we're using these dummy rounds the way we're supposed to and practicing the way we're supposed to, you're going to cycle these things a lot. And we found that there was really a lack of good quality dummy rounds on the market. So the issues you typically encounter with most, if not all, the dummy rounds that are available today are these things. One, slightly out of spec construction, causing failures to properly feed. Now this is usually encountered with the molded or cast ones constructed of plastic or lesser metals where the tolerances aren't exactly good and they tend to fail to feed, fail to extract, things like that. Number two, plastic projectile tips which deform over repeated chamberings or can set back into the case and cause failures to feed. Number three, rims breaking off, creating failures to extract and eject. Now this will eventually occur in all plastic or polymer constructed dummy rounds. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Plastic versus metal, who do you think wins? And number four, case setback. This occurs through repeated chamberings where you're feeding the round into the chamber and it's hitting the nose of the projectile is hitting that feed ramp, and eventually that projectile is going to get pushed back into the case if there's not some sort of insert in there. And when that happens, it changes the dimensions, or the projectile goes all the way into the case and it's useless. It won't function anymore. That's going to happen in every dummy round that has its own projectile and case that are not molded together, or there's not some sort of case insert. It's going to happen. So if you do a quick search online of the selection of dummy rounds available, you're going to find that all of them have one or more of these problems, okay? And the other thing is they're pretty expensive. All of our dummy rounds are made of actual components, minus powder and primers, of course, and they contain an internal case insert to help prevent that and eliminate that case setback problem. They also have certain distinguishing features which make them stand out from live rounds of ammunition. So I'll go ahead and insert some photos into the video now, so you should be able to see what I'm talking about. So our 9mm dummy rounds have a darkened case and an empty primer pocket. Our 40 caliber and 45 caliber dummy rounds have a darkened case rim and an empty primer pocket. And our 38/357 Magnum dummy rounds have an empty primer pocket that has been highlighted in bright orange to make them stand out to you. So just a cautionary note, always check and double check that you are in fact using a dummy round before you attempt to practice with dummy rounds. Check and double check. They very closely resemble live rounds of ammunition. They're designed to function the same way, to be shaped the same way, to be very similar, so you do not want to have a mix-up. As a testament to the quality of these dummy rounds, and so we're not going into a giant business venture here. It's not our intention to sell 1 million of these things, but we realized that there was a flaw in pretty much all of the dummy rounds that were available to purchase, as I outlined to you. So back in 2013, I created 4 40 caliber dummy rounds for use during my classes for instruction and demonstration purposes. I am still using those same 4 40 caliber dummy rounds in classes today. So as a testament to how good of a quality, nearly 8 years later, I have still using these same 40 caliber dummy rounds. They've been cycled thousands of times, and they still function as they should. They're a little scratched up, they're a little dented, but for 8 years of service and thousands of cycles, they're doing just fine. And these that are available from us now are constructed the exact same way. I'll insert a photo of those so that you can see what they look like today as well. These are going to be the last dummy rounds that you're going to need to buy. And that's not hyperbole, all right? They're handmade, they're not mass produced, and so well constructed that if they ever crack, split, set back, or fail to properly function, normal wear and tear excluded, of course, we will replace them, no questions asked, for the life of the original owner. It's that simple. We believe that these are the best that you can get. Made right here in Baltimore with U.S. components on U.S. equipment. So now let's talk about the bottom line, and that's cost. So we did an online search, and we looked at some of the major dummy rounds that were available out there today, and we used 9mm all across the board for comparison's sake. And here's what we found. So A-Zoom, online again, 9mm dummy rounds. They're made of cast aluminum. You get 5 for $17.49. Now that is $3.49 per dummy round. BS Dummy, again, available online. 9mm dummy rounds. They are brass case with a polymer or powder-coated lead tip. It didn't say, and it was kind of hard to tell. You get 10 for $24.99. Now that's $2.49 per dummy round. Glock branded, I'm sure they're not made by Glock, but they're branded by Glock, 9mm dummy rounds. They're all plastic construction or polymer, and they're in a box of 50 for $111.55. That's $2.23 per round, and these are all plastic. ST Action Pro, 9mm dummy rounds, brass case with a plastic projectile tip. You get 10 for $28.26. That's $2.82 per round. And the last one that we checked was Tipton, 9mm dummy rounds. Now these are a hybrid. These are a brass base with an all plastic body and tip. You get 5 for $16.99. That's $3.39 per dummy round. That means on average, people are paying about $2.88 for dummy rounds, per dummy round. Ours, are going to be available starting at our August class in 10 packs for $15. And I think that's a great value because you're only going to need to buy them one time. And you only really need 10 of them. If you want to buy more, you can buy as many as you like. But 10 for $15. Currently, they're available in 9mm, 38/357. You can use them interchangeably. They're made in 38 special brass, but you can use them in a 38 or a 357. 40 Smith & Wesson and 45 ACP. We do not have a 380 at this time. That may be in the works. We'll see how that goes. So if you need dummy rounds, give these a try. I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed. So for Urban Defense, this is Dwayne Urban. Keep practicing and stay safe out there.